the most anticipated earnings releases for the week of October 14th, 2024. Presented by earningswhispers. And so it begins. Third quarter earnings season is now fully underway. Well, except for Monday, which is a banking holiday and the bond market is closed. So those that may have reported on Monday are now going to report on Tuesday. Still, we will have over 100 companies report this week. More than half of the companies reporting this week are within the financials, with 57 scheduled to report. And among the 43 S&P 500 companies reporting this week, 23 are financial companies. The following 2 weeks, however, will be the busiest of the reporting period, but with fewer financials. Note, though, that there are still a lot of those companies reporting in November that haven't officially scheduled earnings yet, so the weekly chart isn't quite accurate. All of that being said, on Monday we will still get results from Citigroup, or something like that. You probably don't know them. When things really begin on Tuesday, investors will mainly be focused on 2 companies with stocks heading in opposite directions. UnitedHealth Group tops the list and will be one of the first to report. Sentiment bottomed in April, along with the stock, just as you would suspect, but now the stock has broken out to new highs. Sentiment has improved with the move, but investors still don't really believe it, and sentiment remains bearish. On the other hand, shares of Walgreens Boots Alliance have pushed to multi-year lows, and while sentiment isn't at record lows, short interest in the stock is at record highs. So, weak results aren't going to catch anyone by surprise. Really early on Wednesday, at least in the US, we will get results from ASML. The company beat expectations last quarter, but gave guidance below estimates. Now, the company is expected to beat estimates once again, but guidance will likely be the key. Investors will also be watching Morgan Stanley, which just broke to new highs ahead of an expected earnings beat. Thursday is the big day. There aren't a lot of companies with just over 35, but the 2 companies with the most interest report. Netflix reports after the close and is at a high ahead of expected positive results. Earlier that morning, Taiwan Semiconductor will report. Its stock is on the verge of breaking out as well, and the company already told us its revenue would be above estimates, so now it comes down to margins and outlook. Earnings season means a full schedule of earnings releases on Fridays, and early in the period means mainly financials. Comerica tops this list this time around, and it is trading near a high after a recent breakout and an expected beat. Usually, investors have more interest in American Express over Comerica, but this time around it is second on the list. The stock is still at a high going into expected positive earnings. That's important because investor sentiment has dropped to its lowest level in nearly a year. For the first full week of earnings season, there are a handful of expected large moves, but nothing to signify an overall shift. SGH is the one standout because it has had some really big moves recently. But while a 10% move might be a lot for most companies, it is a rather muted expected move compared to the 20% move we've seen from the company recently. There are still a lot of companies that haven't confirmed their earnings date yet, which includes some key names like Amazon. But for the most part, we now have a full view of the third quarter 2024 earnings season. Shh.